Alright, hello guys. So here we got a third blender video. This one's an Oster 14 speed blender from the early 2010s. This one's model 6608. So the bottom part, which is the base, it was found from a recycling bag. I was on my way to a department store to get some clothes. And I was just happening to look for some goodies, as you know. I'm mainly a fan collector. And I found this inside a recycling bag. Their jar was nowhere to be found, so I might guess that it just broke and they just decided to get a completely new one. But the base still works, and so the design of this thing is actually a childhood design I remember to use for a long time. Matter of fact, my mother used to have one of these, but it was a 12 speed. The first two buttons were gray, and then the rest of them were blue. The Osterizer logo was on the bottom, and notice the glass jar. It has a design as well. Lip plug was completely different. Now back in the jar. So as you can see at the front where the spout is, there's nothing on the. There's no type of measurements, but they are where the handle is. So to the left you have the cups, and then the right you have the lighters. The two Osterizer logos sitting on top of it, as well as you can probably see it. I don't know if you can catch that, but it's there. Notice that, so this thing has a metal to metal connection. The shape of the blades is actually a star, but the input shaft is actually a square. They've always been doing this for a very long time, probably ever since they were introduced. But pretty much, these are very decent blenders for even in the newest generation. They're not like their competitors, which use plastic connections to drive the blenders, which is very cheap. So this is pretty much what the jar's design was look like before. But this was back in like the 2000s, or all the way back in the late 90s when they were first introduced. So the cups will be on the handle side, and the lighters will be at the spout side. Also notice the Osterizer logos at the front. So the entire basis of this design came in like around 1998. I guess that's at the time when they were retiring the classic Osterizer square blenders. I don't know if you remember, right, but they used to mass produce these designer series blenders. The design of the jars were pretty square. They're not clover or whatever the shape this is, like this one. The handle was different. It was more square than anything, but they were classic. And then just these models happened to retire recently, as far recently as 2019, I guess. So they redesigned these a couple of times. The first one, as I already said, when they were introduced, the Osterized logo was at the bottom. Then it, like, I guess 2010, they moved it on top of where the 14 speed lettering is. And then later in 2016, they upgraded, so quote unquote upgraded the model. So pretty much they would add a stripe between where the buttons are, and they would like add new options, which pretty much make no sense on anything, because this thing is not like a very powerful blender that will like make anything happen, as you may know. But as said before, these are decent blenders. Now, this happens to be a model that did not make it past 2016. This one, I guess, was discontinued around 2013 or 14, because it was never seen again afterwards. But it had a round glass jar when they were discontinued. It did not have this jar design specific. But enough of the talk, and now I will show you the operation of the blender. So here we're about to make a smoothie with the blender to test the performance. So what we got here is about 2 cups of milk, honey bunches of oats, strawberry, vanilla extract, banana, and about 2 cups of shaved ice. So let's see how this thing functions. So there you got the smoothie. It kind of seems to have blended well. So let's see how, let's pour it in this glass. Looks very smooth so far. Nice smooth consistency. So there you have it. That's the Osterizer 14 speed blender model 6608 from the early 2010s. And thanks for watching.